Welcome one and all, I'm Dan Carey and this is Hard Hat Chat, powered by Core 4. In this episode we're going to discuss all things quality. Well, not all things quality, but really quality in construction from the perspective of a building control officer. We've got our special guest in today, Jason, so grab your PPE, strap yourselves in, it's about to get real serious.
I did think about standing up. I thought you sort of more
like a Radio 6 DJ.
Yeah. Or one of those standing desks. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Radio 6.
Yeah, Radio 6 is like the Down with the Kids one, isn't it?
Is it?
Or is
Maybe
that...
down with the nearly 40-year-olds.
Oh.
Is it?
I've turned on to Radio 2 now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's that age.
I was in Holly's car.
Is
so
Ken
that's all it
Bruce
picks
still
up.
on that?
No, he got sacked, didn't he?
Oh, right.
He's gone over to somewhere else. I don't know where. But he took Popmasters with him as well.
Oh, did he?
So Vernon Kay's had his slot.
There's like a there's a bit on the TV now, isn't there? You can do there's a TV show, Popmasters.
I mean, we all love radio, clearly. And it's not that far removed from a podcast, so let's get podding. I think we've just discovered a new catchphrase there. Right, so as always, we are joined by a very special guest for this episode of Hard Hat Chat. So welcome along, everybody. Special guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jason Shaw. I'm a registered building control approver. No, I'm not. I said that wrong. That's what I work for. I'm a registered building inspector working for a registered building control approver. It's a lot of words, but that's the way the industry has gone. And I'm class 3 GH, and I've been doing it coming up for 8 years.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So we have had a health and safety guy not too many episodes ago. Now we've got a building inspector. How do you feel about that, Dan?
What a podcast this is.
Riveting.
I just like this is like my dream come true. No, jokes aside, right? We are having the conversations that maybe not everyone's having because, have you ever been invited on a podcast before?
Only ever this one.
Okay, there we go. Could you ever see yourself getting invited again?
I used to pull my material last time. So.
It's just, I guess my whole thing is that, you can have the conversation. Like certain people think, oh yeah, the plumber's funny. We'll have like a conversation with the plumber because he's funny. And oh yeah, that ground worker's got some stories and he can tell a joke well, and that goes well on like as a video on Insta and stuff like that. But what I guess we're trying to do here is have the different conversations.
With the people that wouldn't get invited on anything else. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Our budget was low. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Try and have a conversation with people that are usually avoided on site. I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, I've always enjoyed talking to the building inspector. I've always enjoyed I'm probably a bit of a nightmare. I'm doing some work at my house at the moment, and I won't mention the name of the firm, but I went with a firm rather than local authority. And he comes around and we have a cup of tea and we chew the fat and we go through it's a small side extension.
Yeah.
It's nothing really to get excited about, but I'm doing timber frame.
Nice.
And I got a Californian cantilever. That's what the architect called it. So I've got like a still hanging out the side of the building, first floor and the loft going on, right? And I'm doing it all cutting, pitching it myself. And the first thing the inspector went to me is, oh, well, you're going to have like trusses made, and it's literally 2 meters off the side of the house. I was like, mate, I'm cutting and pitching it. He was like, oh yeah, but with trusses you can get a bit more of a span and you can take that ashlar wall detail out. But obviously, like by the time you're down the eaves, you're like right low anyway, aren't you? So I ended up, we talked it through, and I'm going for a cut and pitch. I had to get some more engineering done on it. But I wondered if that was like the point of me saying all of this is that people understand in today's day and age, they understand like a truss roof, don't they?
Yeah.
That someone else is taking the liability for it. There's a CAD drawing for it.
Cards, calculations, someone
Yeah.
else's indemnity. Yeah,
But the thing's lost on like getting a roofing square out and cutting your own bird's mouth and
Yeah.
all of that. And I'm like, I've literally got to follow on the gable end. Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's quite straightforward what I've got to do. But it was almost a bit alien to the building inspector.
yeah, that's it. Especially, yeah, like you say, so many builds, especially new builds, which is the field that I mainly deal with. It's all just a truss roof. Yet there might be sort of cutting a hip in at the end or cutting a valley in, and you can tell that the guys installing it, they're just used to sort of shooting some trusses in.
I've never really done truss roofs, but they just like lash together a bit 4x1, ain't they?
Yeah, ultimately, yeah. They need a lot of bracing.
Yeah,
they need a lot of bracing.
They're just not even a real size timber, are they?
No, that's the thing. It's the old value engineering.
Yeah.
It's
that phrase.
I know, but it definitely, it's a huge consideration, especially on volume building sites, which I deal with. Yeah, they'd rather use a smaller size timber and shorten the spacings.
So if I buy like a new build house, a new 3-bedroom house, new build house, then I want another bedroom. Back in the day, you would have just done loft conversion.
Yeah.
But now you've got to rip your roof off. It's hard to convert a roof with trusses in, isn't it?
Yeah, really hard. Sometimes they're building a structure sort of next to the original structure, which will be more of like a heavy timbers and cut and pitch roof. What one large volume builder did for one of their staff, as it was being built, he bought it off plans and got them. He had to pay like a surcharge, but got them to put attic trusses in the early stages. So when he was ready to do the conversion, the structure was already like ready to go. And I thought, why aren't they all like that? It was brilliant. So all they needed to do was, open it up, insulate it, do the, make it meet regs for, U values and what have you. But
I don't like posi joists.
All right.
I don't really like them. They try to like overspan them, don't they? Like I like a big bit of timber. Like, if you have like a nice 8x3, we all understand what it does.
Yeah, yeah.
Then they whack these posi joists in, don't they?
Yeah.
And they open up the centres, you get a bit of bounce in your floors, don't you?
Yeah, so the deflection, is insane with some of the joist details. When I used to do the SIPS houses, when I was building SIPS houses before being an inspector, it was the metal web joist, the eco joist. That's what we used mainly, and they were sort of a happy medium between a solid timber joist and like an eye joist, which is a top and bottom chord of ply or CLS and some hardboard in the middle, and you wonder how.
So we've gone straight on, Kurt, to talk about wood, didn't we?
Well,
like you done show notes, and I've just like not even read them.
They're out the window before we've even begun.
I've not even read them. I'm just talking to Jason about wood.
To be fair, the conversation's gone in the direction I thought it was, but all I was going to do to get it there was ask Jason about what he was doing before building inspecting, because
let me guess.
Despite how he sounds, he didn't go straight into building inspecting from school.
No, I did my. Well, it was an interesting one because when you were saying about what we're going to be talking about, I did my 3-year apprenticeship, Leeds College of Building, for site carpentry, and something recently in the industry is a lot of training hubs are popping up. Where people get sort of an insight into the trade. Not so much with plumbing and electrics, but with your bricklaying, your carpentry, plastering. And when I was doing my apprenticeship, all the old boys were like, "Oh, when I was your age, I was doing it for 5 years. It was 7 years. It was this. It was that." But what I was doing was always not enough, kind of thing. Even got my level 3. And it's funny now. Am I turning into one of the old men where it's like, "What, you've done a 6-month introduction course to bricklaying? Oh, you're not going to learn anything through it." But actually, it's on site, isn't it, where we get our like construction education, and those courses are sort of just to get people started. I think it's what the industry needs, as we've not got those people in the industry now. People are shying away from it. They don't think it's an option, but then they go to a training hub, and they get paid for it for a few months, and they think, "Oh, actually, this is all right. I like having a trowel in my hand, or I like cutting timber. I like smashing joists together."
Do you think though on that we need to evolve like house building rather than like it's trying to mold them young people? Like we're all for it, like try and get young people into the game, but we find with our daily operation it's harder and harder to attract young people to what we do.
Definitely,
because like look at it today, it's hammering down you know, it's muddy everywhere. You're saying to people like, "Come get wet," and like be miserable and cold, and
Yeah.
get told that you're not allowed a hood up on site and stuff
Yeah.
like that, right? You're doing all of that.
Yeah.
So you're trying to sort of, that's a different conversation, like about rules and stuff, but it's trying to entice them in. I'm thinking like, if everyone's good on computers and that these days, why aren't we doing more with like building with robots?
Yeah.
There's robot bricklayers.
Yeah, like why aren't we doing like 3D printing houses? Like, is it just that the technology's not there yet, or is it like, is it that we're just too bone idle? Because it's like that cement brick thing
Yeah.
we call bricklaying is really old school, isn't it?
It's old school, but it works.
Yeah.
That is the issue with it. So and
Yeah.
it works on a relatively compact sites. And I think in regards to sort of more like robotic or automated construction, great, give it a go if you've got room. But particularly where I work in East London, you
Yeah,
don't
there's no
have room
space.
for
Yeah.
for a machine to be swinging an arm around.
Yeah.
You know that the cranes are so restricted with going near major roads, flight paths, power cables,
Yeah.
train tracks. That sort of the land that you could build it on would be so heavily restricted. And with the sort of they're coming back to more brickwork, back to those more traditional build methods, because of the way it's going with regulation, for example, especially with high-rise construction, and they're
The
just wanting
cladding details and stuff like that.
Yeah.
because the problem with details like that is there's so many moving parts, and you're relying
Yeah.
on so much human input, which, like I say, it would be easier to
Yeah.
then automate it, make it as a you just install one thing and it's got everything on it. Like that would be
Yeah.
fantastic. But logistically at the moment,
You've really got to know. I think the problem is with that cladding, like from when I've been involved in it, it was like the person they weren't really trades,
yeah,
and they were like, oh, they're putting a cladding up, but you needed to be a
Yeah.
trade. You really need to look at the detail.
yeah. So that I mean that is a whole subject on its own. Is
Yeah.
who is, because you think about the fundamentals.
It basically comes down to a carpenter,
yeah.
but a carpenter wouldn't necessarily want to do that.
No, so that
And
so they
that's
need
the
the
thing.
precision. They need that precision. They need
Yeah.
to know how to know the tools, but they also need to know how the product that they're installing has got to perform and function.
Yep.
So you think cladding's got to look pretty. That's what 99% of people that look at
Yeah.
cladding will think. Oh, that block or that patch of cladding.
Yeah,
looks
but it
nice.
needs the right expansion details in it. It
Yeah.
needs the right, even the fly mesh. Everyone misses out the mesh, don't they?
Yeah,
For the old bugs.
100%. And then
I
you
mean-
think about, even if you've got a detached building with a small patch of cladding on it now, that needs to be fully fire stopped because you've, the whole thing of you've created a chimney behind you with your cladding detail. That needs to be fully fire stopped. So whether you've got a detached house or you've got a 20-story tower, whoever's doing that fire stopping, they need to understand what they're installing and why it needs to perform. And if they put it on upside down, if they don't use stainless steel fixings, if they don't have the right fixing centers, and they've compromised the performance.
Yeah, it's the thing. The thing is, it's the
a bit
classic,
serious.
isn't it? Like they run out of fixings, but they'll have like a box of something in the van.
Yeah,
So then they just crack
Yeah.
on with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
And it is like you say, it's like the education of knowing that you can't really do that.
yeah. And as well, like you've got the guy installing it, and then what tradesman is following it up after? If it's someone
does he
putting a
then
cladded
fix through
panel,
it? Yeah.
yeah, does he fix through it, or does he just ignore
Yeah.
the fact there's gaps in it, or that it's not installed properly? So they need to understand the products and they just need to look at the bigger picture. What are we all trying to build here, rather than, and that goes from everything from fire stopping and cladding and brickwork to where you've got a plenum coming through for your ventilation ducts.
I just think that it's like I'm 36,
36.
and I ache
Yeah,
a lot, and I've been rolling around in the mud and that today, and then but I like ache in the morning because I've been doing stuff. So it's like it takes its toll on your body. All of this stuff that we do, that this like trade that we're in, doesn't really matter what you're doing. And I'm like, I'm all for the technology. Like, if there's a better way of doing something, I think we should do it that way.
yeah.
But yeah, not everyone is. And then it's coming down to like
It's cost. It's cost as well, isn't it?
It's always cost, isn't it? But why are a lot of them modular builders going bust then? Let me throw that one out there, Kurt. You got a fact on that?
No.
You're not got a facts on that?
No, I really haven't got any facts on that.
I mean, well, the big fact is it's happening.
Because they failed building regs.
Yeah.
And they like so when they like crane a module in, and they're just like ignoring the fire stop in between, say, like we won't talk specifics, but like if there's some townhouse setups or a semi-detached. They haven't got a fire break going right the way through. No.
There's a detail that needs to be carried out on site. Yeah. So say you've got
Yeah.
a 3-story townhouse, the fire stopping between those two sets of modular houses.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be a fully compliant fire stopping detail.
Yeah.
Goes back to what we're saying. Is
And
it
that,
understood
and
on
that is
site?
like on a traditional build,
It's
2 course of block work.
yeah, and a preformed fire sock.
Yeah.
It's a relatively simple detail.
Yeah, as a
but
kit. Yeah.
when you've got someone craning in however heavy these modules are,
Yeah.
and you're relying on sort of a relatively loose fire sock, you know, you've got to get the compression right, get your gaps right, and it's
Yeah.
windy. You know, everyone's
Yeah.
everyone's in an exclusion zone, sort of viewing it from 100 meters away. You know, it's a tricky detail to get right with the modular. I mean, I think it's got so much potential, but recently, you know, one's gone bust, hasn't it, near us, and they've kept the foundations of the ones that were installed, but then ripped everything else down because
So we probably, in the last year, I reckon we've done 3 to 4 jobs where they've gone bust building schools.
right,
And then from another contractor, we've gone in, tidied the sites up. So then another contractor can take over the works.
right,
But a lot of the time, like the buildings are beyond repair.
Mm.
It's like you need to flick a match in them and just be done with them.
Yeah.
Because they've been left out for 18 months, 2 years, just exposed to all the weather.
Yeah, because no one's making a decision
Because,
on it.
yeah.
Rather than try and save it initially.
So like one of these builders, we looked at it, they spent in excess of 50 million. They got everything there, like all the big stuff was done.
Was it a modular school?
It was modular skull. But where you've got the big open spaces within a skull, where the connection detail, and they talk about this parapet like bolt-on connection detail, nothing was on,
Right.
so it just leaked.
Yeah.
Just like bits of viscarine over it, and it just made it went from being like this should have been absolute quality to being such a shame.
Yeah.
And that's happened a few times. We got another call about it a couple of weeks ago where another firm again went bust. So I guess what a point they're probably, these modular guys are either overstretching or they're like over promising, under delivering. I don't really know what they're doing, or they're failing at building regs, or they're realizing on site they then haven't got the staff to put the thing together.
There's a lot of that. I mean, in the interest of talking technology, I've asked AI why are modular builds failing.
Right.
And do you want to hear?
Go on.
So this is what AI reckons. So I think I'm going to class it as fact. Underestimating costs and timelines, because I suppose they think, oh, it's modular, it's going to be quick, and there's still so much needs to be done, isn't there? Chasing volume over value, so there's just not the margins there.
Yeah.
Coordination breakdowns. I mean, we've seen it on some of the bits we've worked on, how in tune everybody has to be, and if there's a lot of moving parts,
Yeah.
I mean, there's more than normal, isn't there? Unforeseen complexities. I mean, like drainage details and things like that.
But then, but so that's something that when I was inspecting a modular site, something that shouldn't have been an issue was an issue. Everything in the ground was relatively traditional. You had a foundation, you have drainage, you connect it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, but what you'll have on these ones that I've just done, and this is the third time I've done this sort of project, these modular buildings, the engineers always draw the drainage around the wrong way. So the surface and the fouls always ran the wrong way.
Right.
It's only because we know now that we go, that's ran the wrong way. And it's just like, I don't know what it is. I think it's just, people just like look at CAD drawings, don't they? There'd be an engineer somewhere looking at like a CAD drawing going, yeah, that's it, overlays it.
Yeah.
Clicks one little button wrong.
Yeah.
Then no one's proofs it. And then that's where we're at. And then like I got a drawing. I just come out of a meeting today where they mentioned that they now want to get a 6-inch run under some buildings that we've landed, falling the other way because they want to move a whole digester unit. But that's not what no drawing says. Right? Oh yeah, we was going to send you a drawing before Christmas, but we forgot. Right? So that's what I got to now, and I'm quite good at this. I come up to the solution, so I'll be like, okay, we're going to directionally drill something. That's the only thing we can do now. We get a crane back, we start lifting things out. But like all the time, I think all drawings are rubbish.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that out there actually. So we need to get some sort of engineer
There's
to discuss what the breakdown is, because it's everywhere we go,
job,
isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's there is. I mean, one other thing it mentions is manufacturing issues, which
Yeah,
Like,
I
it does
think
happen.
like the guys that build the modules are quite good, and
Yeah.
then they don't get like construction. They don't get how then it can fall apart on site. How then if you can,
Mm.
you know, just saying, oh, I've got the best product, you're now stuck with it. There needs to be a link.
Well, I did hear that there was one modular manufacturer, and they built their roof in the factory, like a little truss roof in the factory, to a spec of a traditional house.
Mm.
And then when they went, oh look, we've built your roof to your specification. They went to crane it up, and it cracked and moved. It's like, well, yeah, because a,
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
roof
of
is set to
course.
be a stationary thing. So why did you think, like, whose idea was that in the first place? To not think, oh, we need to build a roof with jacking points and lifting points, and
Yeah.
it's got to
Yeah,
survive a journey from like halfway across the country.
Yeah.
And it's just that lack of
and that's the thing on a smaller scale. But to bring us around in a circle, that's what I've got in mind. Where I'm building up against the boundary, and I've got this timber frame going in. The neighbours won't let me get no access.
Oh.
They don't like me. They back onto the side of my house and on the end of
Right.
the road. So I'm craning the flank in.
wow.
Finished. Well, I'm lifting it with a full lift.
And what sort of timber frame is it? Like six?
It's just it's just a 5x2
Right.
structure, with OSB on it. Then it's got a batten detail. Then it's got a finished panel on it that looks like render.
Yeah, nice.
Because the rest of the house is KVM, but again, I can't get to it.
Yeah.
So I've got to finish it,
Drop
and it
on
is only
finished.
like a 8 meter flank. I've had to really think about when you lift it up, it's going to crack, deflect, move all over the place, isn't it?
Potentially.
Yeah. Well, it won't now because of what I've done. But yeah, I mean, like,
But that's it. You've thought about that detail.
you've got to think about basically having like a lifting brace, like built around the thing. That's almost the temporary works is kind of exactly what we do on a daily basis. The temporary works is more work than the actual thing that's going in.
But you look at that sort of, you've got to have that forethought and that experience to be able to, get that in on your extension.
Yeah.
I've got it on a job where they've got like a 3.5 meter retaining wall meeting the back of a 15-story block of flats that's going in.
Yeah.
And where they put the initial sheet piles in for the retaining wall, it's now so tight to where the retaining wall as the block of flats is going to be.
Yeah.
No one can get in to do the gas membrane, which has got to be the full height, that 3.5 meter high, up the RC wall going in. And you just think, how can that be missed? You guys, you get paid a fortune.
Because again, like on a CAD drawing and that, people are looking and they're not necessarily looking in reality, are they? And then sort of part of the issue with a game, I think, as well, is like it's all run by these value engineer QSs. Yeah, I suppose it always has been, but it's always like can we do it a bit cheaper? So if that might have been that they didn't have the certain rig that the contractor's just gone, well, that's where we've been asked to put it. That's where we're going to put it.
Yeah.
So they're in line with their contracts.
And that whole thing of the value engineering scales up, and each company is different, isn't it? So whether you've got some of my, like when I was a local inspector, the local builders whose reputation mattered, the quality of their builds, the extras that they put into their builds. Like it's like, oh, this could be 600 centers, but we do it at 400 because we like a more solid wall. Or we stagger the joists there because we don't want anyone in the bathroom to hear what's going on in the bedroom, or vice versa. They put didn't need to.
Put thought into it.
Because their reputation.
So they're building to like a better code.
Yeah, just through experience and what their customers want, because there's that direct connection between their name and the person that's living in the house at the end. You've then got companies that are still owned, like huge companies, building companies that are still owned by a family or a few people, still a private company.
Yeah.
But this could still be a volume builder. Again, their reputation is, on the line quite a lot, and they don't have to sort of appease any shareholders as such, but they do still want to make huge profits.
Yeah.
So they, there's that more disconnect between the home owner at the end, or whoever's living in whatever's being built, or however it's used, and the builder. But they might have like a more stringent set of like quality checks throughout the whole project. Then you've got your huge builders who are owned by hedge funds, nameless hedge funds, from wherever. All they care about is every quarter, how much have we paid out and how much are we getting back?
Of course.
What is our return?
Is part of the rush is always, can we get to site? Can we break ground? Can we, because we're the first on site, like enabling contractors, groundwork contractors. It's like, can we get something going so they can say, our 50-week build is well underway because we're stuck in the mud in the middle of winter. When if we really left it 2 months, we would have gained that time back. And all of them only want to push to basically get started. They don't really care about the middle bit, and then it's finish. And it's that middle bit that I've noticed over the years. I'm like, why don't they care? Like everyone drops off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
They come for a photo at the beginning. We're starting the job. They come for the photo at the end. And then that bit in the middle, we're just there.
Yeah.
I'm just there taking photos of myself.
Yeah. Via LinkedIn.
In holes, yeah.
Still at it.
Yeah. But I think, that's like it's an industry-wide problem. It is an industry-wide problem.
It is, but I think it comes down to oversight from do the supervisors, have they got an eye for quality? Do they understand the standard that you've got to achieve? And I'm talking compliance. I'm not talking a standard. I'm just talking, is this work compliant? Because in my job, we're there to spot non-compliant work.
Yeah.
And there's so much
and
of
then it's also having the right amount of managers on a big enough site.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And that, if they're too stretched, they might be handing. So, we do our stage inspections and we'll go into, before anything's skimmed or like fully plasterboarded, we'll do an inspection. So we're checking all your first fix stuff. It's a big inspection. There's plumbing, electrics, intermediate structure. We're looking at if there are any plasterboard, any boarding, dry lining being done, we'll be looking at your fixings. Fire stopping's a huge thing as well at that stage. And you might have the supervisors out with you, particularly dry lining supervisors, and he'll have a man with a screw gun at the ready. And before I get there, I should be like the stop end. Everything should be done before I get there. I should just make sure it's according to plan, and that the right products are being used. I shouldn't be snagging people's quality of construction at that point. Like the blackout, the electrician supervisor, he should hand it over to the site and go, "This is ready for you. I've checked it in my capacity as a supervisor. It's spot on."
Yeah.
The fire stopping guys, I mean, they're, to be fair, they're very good trade at the moment. And they'll certify it and they'll put the sticker on it. They've got all their checks and pictures that they've got to do. And then your plumbers, they'll do the same. They should be able to hand it over to the site and say, we're ready for that inspection. It's all good. Dry liners should do the same. What we're finding is that we'll do that inspection and, we're just picking up repeat issues.
So I'll tell you why that is. Because at the top, they push us so much on price. We then, as contractors, don't have the right supervision on site. Then we don't necessarily have the right trades on site because we've all got to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's getting like we all getting squeezed.
Yeah.
And because we're all getting squeezed, and then it becomes a problem like later on. We're very good at customer service work. We go back and fix other people's work. We've always been amazing at it. I don't really know why. Why are we so
I think because we're so affable.
I think so.
That's the right word, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't speak a lot today, but when I do, it'll be
profound.
I just thought, is there three of us here? But that's all I got to say on it anyway. We'll save that one for a contractual.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, hearing you speak, obviously there's a lot of experience on site before doing the inspection works like that you've got. Is that the same for every inspector?
What, having that experience?
Yeah.
So inspections changed a lot over the last year, 18 months. Every inspector doing building control work has to now be a registered building inspector, and you can only work in your class. So if whatever you've proven your competencies to.
Yeah.
So if you do houses only, you might be a 2A inspector. If you do, I do buildings above 18 meters, so 3GH. That's like the range. A lot of inspectors have site experience, so it could be as ex-site managers or assistant site managers that fancy a change, don't like sort of being on one site all the time. We do have quite a few ex-tradesmen, not as much. I think a lot of the older inspectors in our company are ex-tradesmen, but then you've got people that they've just come straight out of college, university, and gone into building control. Which you can tell there's a difference, let's say, because coming from off the tools, quite often you can understand the process of why something, whether it's compliant or the best standard you've ever seen, you sort of have an appreciation for how it's got there, either what's been missed what's happened along the way. But for someone that's not necessarily got the experience from being on the tools, they'll just look at it like, what you're showing me isn't compliant, fix it.
Yeah. And I think we'll notice that with like the best site managers tend to be ones that have done the job.
Yeah, the ones that can muck in.
Yeah.
Proper site managers.
Happy to help. Yeah.
But that's it as well, and it goes from site managers to supervisors. If they've been on the tool, like the best chippies will always end up as black hats. You see it all the time. Like a big chippy firm near us, all their black hats were once on the tools, and because they know what the guy's going to achieve, they know if their view of the standard of the work is so much better as well. They know if the guys are sort of just hashing something in, or if someone's actually quite good at first or second fix. And
you can tell a lot by a chippy by their tools.
Yeah.
Like how they keep their tools, what sort of tools they're using.
100%.
Yeah, and that was how I still judge it like that. Like if you're going to turn up with some rubbish make, you can't be that good.
Checking out everyone's battery platform.
It sounds really judgmental, that, doesn't it? But that's right, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's because because you've been on the tools. You know that if he's using decent stuff, it's because he wants decent results.
Yeah.
But if
because
you've got
so much is in that, like what come in. I'm a chippy by trade, and what come in, I don't know, maybe 10, 14 years ago, something like that. I don't know why I went 10 to 14, but I did anyway. Like track saws made a difference, an absolute difference.
Yeah.
Like when Festool come out, and it was like the Festool track saw with the extractor, and it was like you was getting no dust, and you're just cutting things like birch pliers down, and that in people's like
finished kitchens,
multi-million-pound houses, and it was like you've got a joinery finish. And then all the other tools that run on it. And then the others sort of jumped on board, the Waltz and the Keaters and all of that, then jumped on board, bought their own versions out. I've still got the original. Still an amazing bit of kit. The corded 110, a TS55.
Right, check you.
Yeah.
But it just, I mean, yeah.
But, then and then like I'll talk to someone, I'll be like, have you got like, do you get the original blades with the 5 degree like offset? So when you cut down the strip, like that is actually the line.
Yeah.
Or you're using like a cheaper blade. And then as well, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we do the same, like when we turn up, when we do groundwork jobs and that, we hire a lot of gear. We hire a lot of gear for a reason. Like we just hire the best we can get. So we hire decent machines. Because then if we bought machinery, we might sort of try to make that machinery work for the job that maybe it's not intended. But hiring allows it to be a bit more flexible for us, and we just have the best of everything all the time. And people are like, "Whoa, you have big shiny machines." Like, yeah. You take your shoes off when you get in them; they're nice. But we do stuff like that. Well, not all the time, but we're supposed to do stuff like that. And that's like, and again, like we're trying to do a good job. So that portrays like the basics. So like when you open someone's van, it's like all the stuff's falling out everywhere, and they've got all crisp packets on the dash. You know what sort of job they're turning up to do, didn't you?
Yeah.
Not a very good one.
And do you know what about that as well? I think there's always been that, if someone arrives a bit smarter on site, you do expect a slightly better job. But I think, especially with like second fix trades and stuff, if you're doing like renovation and stuff like that, people are sat at home on Instagram and Pinterest for years, maybe, before they have committed to you, I want this bit of paneling done, I want this kitchen, and I want it this little bit different, or I want that. And so because of that change, that input from social media now, and people's access to all these different finishes, they do want someone, or I always felt like they wanted someone rocking up on site in, they don't want a chippy to arrive to site covered in silicone and adhesive, and
gone are the days of that. Well, they're still here, but they should be completely gone. Of how cheap a bit of PPE is. This top I'm wearing now is about £9, and I'm not doing an advert for it. But I will get it like, it just wears out because I'm rolling around in the mud and doing whatever, and then you change it out, don't you?
Yeah.
But we do have even our own guys. Sometimes they come in, look like they've been dragged through a hedge backwards, don't they?
They might well have been.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
But that's it across the board, though. Even like our company, last year we had a big shift with our PPE, and you think, oh well, we don't get dirty anyway. We're inspectors, but we do. every now and again we like get down onto
Surely
our
you
knees
walk
to
on the
to-
proper walkways and all of that. You get to
Oh, we've
walk on
got
all
to,
the proper bits. Yeah,
yeah. We can't be sort of snooping around by ourselves.
yeah.
on
You
site.
don't do what.
But they've just given us all like the Helly Hansen gear,
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
fancy.
glow in the dark stripes on your big high vis. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Which you wouldn't think. You think, oh, when do you need that? Well, I'm in a lot of stair cores and lift shafts and stuff now.
Yep.
It's dark in the apartments where the windows have got all the protection on. You can't see in there. So, but just
I
having
mean,
that,
we wouldn't mind some of that gear.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening and wants to give us that gear.
If Mr. Hanson is listening.
yeah. But it just I think if you for anyone, whether you're on the tools or whether you're on site as part of the management or anything, if you sort of dress a bit smarter and have that, it changes your whole approach
that
to
product
what you're trying
going
to
to be
do,
putting out is better, isn't it?
and it gets away from that whole thing of rough ass builders,
Yeah.
whether it's small scale or large scale, because that turns people off the
So,
industry, doesn't it?
It was a couple of years ago when Jordan started like hoovering. He had like a little like vac and a blower, and he used to take it in his cab, and he'd polish his cab
Right.
of every machine he had.
Right.
And it was a couple of years ago, and people still mention it now.
Right. Yeah.
Does Jordan still take his shoes off and he had a little tray? And he'd get like like a 13-tonner, like a reasonable size machine. They'd have like a little tray where he puts his boots in,
Right.
and then he puts sliders on.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it's like, but he's going, well, I'm sitting in this for 9 hours a day,
Yeah.
every day, and he's like, at least he's looking at, he's in something clean,
Yeah.
and it's nice. That's like the Pimlico approach in it, to try to do things right.
Yeah.
But I think
I'll take your word on that.
Yeah, well, like like the pin, let's
Yeah, no, it is.
do it right. Oh, the only thing we've got to do now is we've just got to increase our rates. Because what we're trying to say is basically you're getting the same end result, but we're just doing it in a nicer way.
Yeah.
We're trying to say that, but it's hard because you're getting like people are just buying them.
Yeah. But also the nicer way is quite often the safer way as well.
Yeah.
Like there's no you mentioned dust extraction earlier. Before the Festool thing came in, the only guys that would be doing like dust extraction is the guys with like doing massive coring holes and stuff that, or major, your chippy wouldn't have that much dust extraction. You'd have to wear a mask.
Well,
but
it was
now,
like, wear a paper mask,
Yeah.
and then that sort of went out the window, didn't it? But it's just a better environment to be in.
Yeah.
And it keeps like your work nicer, doesn't it? Like you're cutting an MDFN panel down for a kitchen unit, and then all of a sudden you've got dust extraction. So then your MDF all your dust hasn't stuck to your panel, has it?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you've got a finished product.
Yeah.
And it's like it made like workshop environment you could have on site. I mean, you could have mental gear. Now, but I've got the some Hilti stuff that kind of, if we're ever making any dust or whatever, there's like a background. It's like a big vent, and it filters the air around you. So you use proprietary dust extraction.
Yeah.
And then you use this just to filter the air.
Right.
Which is a bit mad as well.
Yeah.
Because we work outside. But we'll have that on.
Yeah.
So it would just be like sucking any dust out that we're making around us. And then the lads have got these, like, again, it's the Hilti, like all the battery pack system. It's like they're just water suppression and stuff like that. But then some sites won't let you use water suppression in case you're putting anything into the water course.
Right, yeah.
I mean, you can go on and on, can't you, with it all? But I like us to have the gear. So when we turn up, people go, wow, you use all the gear.
Yeah.
Like for years, we've always like go on site, we fly a drone to look at what we're doing. We get out, we crack out like the fancy PLT to set things out. And it's like, that makes us look professional.
Yeah.
Everyone goes, I've never seen a groundwork firm do that. What are you flying a drone for? Oh, before and after shots. We look at anything around the area straight away.
Yeah. And if you
look at all plans, they're from the top, aren't they?
Yeah. And just like having the drone, for example, you're looking at an old set of council plans from 50 years ago, looking for a drain or an electric run on, and you'll have some high voltage running through, and the plan might show it there, but you're like, hang on, if we look at our drone, there's no way. There's no way that's passing through there.
I want to one day. Curtis might let me buy the drone that measures, because my drone's a couple of years old now.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, but basically, you send it up, and then as soon as you send it up, and you're in the middle of a field or whatever, you can just get an overview of what you're doing, or you're on a housing estate, or whatever it is.
A lot of the volume builders are using drones now for their, especially their project. What they've got, progress reports.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
but, because they can just ping it out to
Yeah.
everybody.
That's it, yeah.
It's
and it
so,
looks
you know,
epic, doesn't it?
oh,
Every
yeah.
time. I mean, I
Yeah.
showed you some when you come in here. I showed you some of the other day, and that was just me. Like that's just I don't
happened
use
to be
them,
on
I just,
site with
yeah.
the drone.
Yeah, I just we pretty much we drone every day just to see things happening. And sometimes it was on just off the A12 the other day, and we had a load of big lorries, and we had a bit of a hold up. And I thought, right, I wonder where all the lorries are. I just sent the drone
Oh,
up,
nice.
just
Looking down the
see
road.
everything at Boreham Interchange,
Yeah.
carnage, and then sort of all coming down the A12.
Yeah.
But you just then get a view for it.
Then you knew you had time for a Costa. So,
Yeah, then I did. I went and got a
That would have
really
been Mackie D's.
no, a really expensive Costa from the Shell garage.
But no, it
Oh,
does,
yeah.
but I think you know, just having access to all that now, you know, it's not the cheapest, but it's a lot more accessible and cheaper now for people to be able to do that. And
Yeah.
you know, whether you're selling like the company now, you can be like, well, you could use him, but take a look at this, and they're going to go, that actually looked amazing.
Yeah,
you know, for like 5 minutes of editing.
But it's not like new technology. Most of this
No.
isn't like brand new.
It's just accessible.
But it's
now.
just like, it's all run off your phone, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like everything. And when we do stuff like that, that's the stuff that gets us the repeat calls.
Yeah.
We tend to find the people that go, the contractors that go, oh yeah, they're the guys that do that.
But like, I've got a site team, and they're part of a huge. They're a huge national builder, but the site that I'm fortunate enough to look after, the guys love it. They love construction. It's brilliant. They had 2 huge mass storage containers for the district heating installed the other day. Double crane lift. Everyone was out on the. It's very posh, so it's got a balcony on their site office. Watching these 2 cranes do this double lift. It was amazing. And they have the drones every week. They send the drones up onto site to look around, and then they edit it and they send it out to everybody. The site teams for the same builders in and around London, they're into it. They're doing a good job. But this one, it's like they've got the drones, you know, and it just it's like you say, it's quite a small thing, but it shows that engagement.
The funny thing is with it, if I get my drones out, I go on a site and we're doing an element of works, I will get the site manager will then slightly get anxiety and go, is everyone doing what they should be doing? Are those scaffolders wearing their harnesses over the back?
Can you pixelate that section?
and you go, it's funny that still in this day and age, everything's staged.
Yeah.
So like photographs are still staged.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got to send our directors updated photographs. Lads, get out of the way. Just send them a photograph. Like, we should be doing everything right now.
Yeah. And so this is that's an interesting point you make there, because about sending progress reports and updates to, you know, your managers, your boss's boss. We have it sometimes when it comes to sign off houses, especially around towards the end of the year, builders year end, half year end. That's when they need the volume.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, right, we need these extra 20 units, and you go in and they're just garbage, and you know, basic stuff's it's not working, and it's just not ready. So you'll record your visit, but you can't final it, and they'll call you in the next day, and then the next day, and they're like, we really need it now. And I'm like, right, well, it's all compliant, but there's still might be some decoration outstanding or something like that. So you'll record some bits. And like, oh no, you can't. I don't need to record everything. And I was like, well, you can't go to your bosses and say, look, we've got those extra 20 units that you put on us a month ago, and go to them and say, look, and with absolutely zero problems. You can go to them and say, yeah, we got them. However, there's these outstanding bits on them. If they go to their bosses and say, we got them, no issues, the boss are going to go, hang on, next year, I want those units and more because you didn't have any issues. So it keeps it, you know, of
course it does.
Because
ultimately we're all reliant on that, like, supply chain that we started off talking about, that tradesman, almost the bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
We're reliant on them people to keep the big fat cats happy, aren't we?
Yeah.
And that's what we all need to realise. Kurt, you need to get some questions in here. Haven't you written some questions?
Well, I have written some. Do you want the quick fire 4?
Oh yeah,
quick fire 4.
Go on, do that.
Quick fire 4. That's our new jingle. So, Jason, this is not one word answers, but like,
you got to be quick.
They are quick. So just whatever comes into your head.
All right.
Best thing about building inspection.
Being proactive and picking up potential issues in the future, and it being a thing, and sort of
saving the day, basically.
Well,
Everybody loves a
Oh, just
superhero.
like a
Is that what you're
superhero,
saying?
yeah.
just well, I very much believe in a collaborative approach. So
Jason, it was supposed to be quick.
sorry,
Yes.
No,
I could talk about that for hours.
No, don't. That's it.
No,
that was quick.
That'll be the next
Right.
time you're on. Worst thing about building inspection.
Getting asked about planning requirements.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah, everyone thinks you're the same people, don't they? Yeah, he's that guy from the council, isn't he? Yeah.
On or off the tools?
38 years old, off the tools.
So you got 2 years left, Dan.
No way he's 38. He looks far too young.
Because I've been off the tools.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Most overlooked element you notice when you do inspections?
You can be specific. You can call a
Yeah.
trade out on
This
this.
is, or worst trade even. You
Yeah.
can-
So in my area, I'm really fortunate. I've got cracking bricklayers.
Stop being nice. Okay.
I've got some decent chippies. Dry liners. I don't know
Oh.
what is going on with the dry lining industry at the moment. Genuinely, almost every time I get called into that element of inspection, I don't know if it's a labour thing. I don't know if it's just a lack of education. Could sort of be deemed as a relatively straightforward trade.
Yeah, a bit of a sort of horrible
Mm.
job, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I think no one wants to get into it. It's
I mean,
dusty and horrible, and you're
yeah.
always covered in.
Yeah. Lugging, 12.5 mil sort of plastic.
Well,
boards
and it's
around
all
all
got
that.
bigger in it. It's all got a lot of 15 mil these days.
Yes,
isn't
the
there? So
ceiling board.
everything
yeah,
got heavier,
Yeah.
and then they bring that MF detail in everything. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
thinking.
so that's all my jobs. Like 90% of my jobs now are all the metal frame.
Yeah,
it's
so
all-
you've got essentially an RC frame building, and then you whack a box within a box.
yeah.
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 No, I get it.
So
But
this
that
is
guy, those guys there,
so you think you get it right on ground floor, first floor,
Yeah.
and then you carry it just cut and paste for the next 16 stories.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what I did see
Don't happen.
when we was last at construction week. The printer, I think one of the printing companies have done like a printer that prints the ground.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah,
you
the
know, if you had a
setup.
perfect concrete slab,
Yeah.
gosh, you're away.
Yeah.
So it's like the competition to what we use a PLT, which you've got to walk around with.
Mm.
This just prints on the ground. And then surely you just then spit gun your MF down. Don't you? I mean, I've done it in my head.
Yeah.
This dry lining stuff.
it,
You spit gun your MF down, don't you? Your jumbo or whatever it is, and
it should be relatively.
it should be that
straightforward.
simple. But they're messing up. So what you're
But
saying?
it's little things like deflection, like a deflection head detail. If they've
Yeah.
cut all their studs at one height, but actually the RC frame has actually got more deflection than
Yeah.
it should have, they need to then adjust it, but they don't.
Are you thinking though that this is sounding like to me a price work problem?
Yeah.
That because they're on meterage,
Yeah.
they're just slapping it up.
Potentially,
I think that's definitely.
Don't want to do the details. Don't want to
it's
throw
gotta
the
be.
details in, do they?
It's got to be in it because
Yeah.
if you think
well, that's a new one.
from a QS,
So Jason doesn't like dry liners.
well, yeah, that's the first time they've
Yeah.
come up, isn't it? Actually,
Yeah,
it's normally scaffolders.
yeah.
normally.
I mean, I'm pretty fortunate.
I suppose you don't deal with too many.
No, I see them a lot, but yeah, that's it. If they've made a walkway for me,
Nice. So that was the quick fire 4.
Sorry,
the,
what-
the last one less quick. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
Have you got-
It was still
have-
quite quick.
have you got any questions for us?
are
None
you?
for me, please?
Well, just so there's been a definite slowdown with the high rise in East London at the moment. A lot of builders have gone from doing their private work just to their housing association works. It's like the guaranteed work.
Yeah.
Because there's been huge industry changes in regards to HRB's high-rise buildings. How about for you guys? Is the work still out there? Is there a lot of interest, or are you getting a lot of interest and people not starting? Or
There's always been that, like, we need this double quick,
yeah,
and then nothing happens.
right,
I suppose we've got a mix of work with house builders and just more facilities sort of management work and things like that.
yeah,
So it's, I don't know, it's probably been the busiest start to a year we've had in the time I've been here, I would say, which causes its own stress.
yeah,
Yeah. It's,
Isn't it?
it's always the whole.
Yeah.
I think the game's busy, but
Yeah.
the element of the game that we're in
Yeah.
is busy.
yeah. And how are you finding it during busy times with good labour? Everyone can get labour.
Ah,
What about good labour? It's going all right.
the good labour's a nightmare.
All right.
All the good people are retired.
All right.
Yeah.
I literally live a nightmare every day
Right.
with it because you're stuck between it because you're only as good as your last job that you've delivered, and if your last job is naff or if someone's messed up something, all that good stuff that you've done for years before is forgotten about.
Yeah.
Like so fickle, this whole thing, this whole industry.
That is a frustrating
People
thing.
will
actually.
throw you
Yeah.
under the bus, countercharge you contractually.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though there was your mate yesterday when you was helping them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we at the moment we're running a bit leaner than we have for quite a while, and we're really short staffed.
Mm.
But I'm going out, getting involved. We're
Hen-
keeping
yeah,
it
hence the oranges.
in the circle of trust, and we're almost within the circle of trust. We're having less issues.
Right. Yeah.
The moment we go for someone, we just need labour on site. Like I got a builder at the moment pushing me. You need to get labour here. Need pavers here. Need white works guys here. Need drainage guys here. I said, no, you don't. What you need here is one gang that's going to do this properly,
Yeah.
and it's just going to be done from
Yeah.
left to right. That's it.
Reliable.
And they're
guys.
just going to work their way out.
Yeah.
No, we got 500 metres of paving. We need this, that, and the other. No, you can't put a paving down anyway because you're still in the mud. Yeah, so it's like then they're always trying to push on program. So they always just want to, get some guys in. But where do the guys come from? Where have all the good guys gone?
Which is another podcast.
Yeah.
Where have all the good
Where
guys?
have all the good guys
Maybe a
gone?
song. I don't.
That is, I could write a song on
I can
that.
see the jingle. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's time to wrap up. Thank you, Jason.
No, thanks,
Thanks,
for having me,
Jason.
guys.
Have you got anything you want to plug? No, this is the point where we ask people
Yeah,
about
yeah.
socials and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
No socials for me.
Not starting your own podcast?
Not starting my
No,
own podcast.
okay.
Just listen.
I think a pure inspection podcast would be the most tedious.
I think you're
No,
probably
you could do one about music or something, Jason. You haven't got.
you're probably the biggest podcast aficionado we've had on. I would
Yeah.
say.
Oh, I do. I listen to because I'm in the car a lot.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of podcasts. Mainly self-help now. Trying to find zen. Just chill me out before I get to
have you
site
got
for
your
a run.
favourite podcast, or would you like to recommend one?
Oh,
Because I
let's
like
have a
it.
recommendation.
So I
section.
like
it.
like business podcasts, but I do love my construction ones. There's only one construction one for me.
Right.
Hard Hat Chat.
Hard hat chat.
No,
I mean, I listen to one called Modern Wisdom, which is
yeah.
good because I'm in the car.
What's that about?
It just gets different experts.
Yeah.
Different
It's
experts.
quite broad.
That's
isn't it?
that's quite yeah.
Yeah.
That could be about anything.
It is. It started
And that's
off.
the idea, I
It
guess.
started off quite bro heavy.
Yeah.
And is an ex-cricket player, so he's an ex-sporting professional, lives in America now. And but it just, I think, what it's like. You deal with so many different site managers, different people.
Yeah.
You need to be like, as a person, you need to be quite broad and accepting of different people, don't you? So I find listening to podcasts like that allows me to be better in my job. In sort of, you might have the most aggressive site manager or site team ever. Equally, you might have someone that hasn't got a clue what they're doing, and you've got to be adaptable. And I just find those podcasts, maybe make me better at sort of being able to be that adaptable. So,
What an
That's
answer.
good. Yeah.
What an answer. Wasn't expecting that. So,
like I say, a lot of time in the car.
in conclusion, podcasts are great. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to follow, rate, like, subscribe, everything that you can do to just basically say how great this last hour has been. 45 minutes, half hour, whatever it is.
Well done.
Thank
Well
you,
done,
everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Jason.